Hello everyone, and welcome back to the island of the Lizard King. When we last left off, we've just arrived at the shaman. We found the shaman, and we have managed to converse with him. And he explained to us that in order to acquire his services and his assistance in destroying the Lizard King, and by assistance I mean he will tell us some details, so not actual assistance. We first need to go through a disturbing and painful test, which we intend to do. We are pretty badly bruised up, so well, not badly, but we are somewhat bruised up. So let's see how it works out. We definitely want to agree to the shaman's terms and find out what he knows. It might definitely come in handy. The shaman tells us that we must pass 3 different tests from a choice of 6 and asks us which one we wish to take first. Alright, what's the options? We have luck, fear, pain, revulsion, strength and dexterity. Alright, so we need to pass 3 of these 6, and luck would presumably mean a luck roll, which we would guarantee to succeed, but might cost us 1 luck point, so if we can avoid that, we will avoid that. Dexterity is going to definitely cost a skill attribute test, which we are guaranteed to succeed and won't cost us anything, so let's start with that one. The shaman hands us a dagger and tells us to throw it at an orange, which he places on the top of a rock. And yes, it's a skill attribute test, so we are guaranteed to succeed. We take careful aim and release the dagger. It flies perfectly straight and sinks into the orange, knocking it off the rock. We have passed the test. Alright, we have passed 1 test, but we still need to undertake some, and by some, exactly 2 of the shaman's trials. I don't know what the strength does. We don't want to do revulsion. Let's first do pain. Fear and pain. That we are going to do fear and pain. Let's go with fear first. Fear is the one earlier on the list. The shaman walks over to us and touches our head with his fingertips. Our mind fills with terrible and threatening images, so real that we want to scream out in terror. But we are wearing red powder on our face, so hopefully that will help. Remember, we just picked up the red powder from the caveman's possessions. The magical properties of the red powder help us to control our mind, and we gradually overcome the terrible nightmare. We have passed the test. Alright, so we have now passed 2 of the tests, the dexterity one and the fear one. Let's go to pain. I think we are pretty good at enduring pain, so that will be our 3rd choice. Hopefully we will succeed. The shaman hands us his 2 bones, telling us to hold one in each hand. All our muscles immediately start to bulge, and then we feel as though our insides are expanding. We believe we are going to burst, and the pain is excruciating, just like what we expected. It's interesting, we can beg the shaman to stop the pain, so we can choose to fail the test, which obviously we don't want to do, or we can grit our teeth and try to bear the pain, and so it's basically an option to, if you want to fail or succeed. Obviously we want to succeed, so let's grit our teeth and bear the pain. Let's see if we need to roll against something or if anything happens. Nope. We are about to pass out from the pain when the shaman steps forward and takes the bones from us. We have passed the test, and we have now passed all 3 of these tests, and we definitely would have passed the luck test as well, but I didn't want to lose any luck points. It didn't cost us anything to get these, so the skill was guaranteed. This second one was a choice, and the 3rd one depended on us finding the red powder, so it was an acquisition we already made anyway. So now that we have passed his wonderful little test, let's see what he has to say. The shaman is satisfied that we have earned the right to learn his secrets. He rolls his eyes up into his head and stands perfectly still with his arms outstretched. In a trance, he begins to describe the parasitic Gonchong. Its appearance is like a giant harvest spider, only its proboscis connects into the brain of its host. In this case, the Lizard King. That's pretty disturbing. It's some alien grade encounter right here. To kill it, the proboscis must be severed within seconds of its host being killed, otherwise it might leap onto its assailant in a desperate attempt to find a new host. Alright, so what that means is that if we need to kill the Lizard King and then immediately cut off its proboscis, otherwise the Gonchong is going to try to control us, which is not a prospect we should be looking forward to. But while it controls him, while the Gonchong controls the Lizard King, he remains almost invincible, unharmed by normal weapons. Oh goody! So that's why he voluntarily attached himself to this creature, obviously. Only fire swords can injure the host of a Gonchong. Okay? So we know how to defeat him. The Lizard King uses them himself, but his collection has an illusion spell cast on them to make them appear as rusty old knives that no one would steal. Okay? Using a fire sword and controlled by the Gonchong, the Lizard King is a deadly fighter. Only one creature can scare him. A monkey! Lizard men suffer from an innate fear of monkeys, even if controlled by a Gonchong. Okay, so what basically that means is that we need to pick up a fire sword, and supposedly the Lizard King has several of them, so we need to look for rusty old knives, and then we also need to pick up a monkey somewhere, and with these two acquisitions we will be able to defeat him, ? The shaman slowly comes out of his trance and points to the southeast, saying that the prison colony lies in that direction. We bid him farewell and walk down the side of the volcano towards the Lizard King's stronghold. Right, we have that map. It's actually almost in the direction we came from, but I think this detour was worth it. We've picked up a few items, the red powder, etc. And we killed the Razor Jaws, destroyed the Razor Jaws, that's also something. And now we know how to defeat the Lizard King, so let's get to it. The others must be waiting near the fort by now already. We walk quickly southeast, eager to meet up with the freed slaves. Right. We soon arrive at the edge of a ravine, which is too wide for us to jump over. We walk east, infuriated by the time that we are wasting. Ahead we see a stone arch traversing the ravine, but an armored hobgoblin is standing guard by it. Okay, so this must be like the text says, a hobgoblin guarding the passage over this. It's really interesting. This hobgoblin has an exquisite shield, it seems like it, and they are not very strong creatures, so we could just kill it. It has quite a lot of weapons: a spear, a sword, a morning star, and a hammer even. That's pretty overkill for a weak creature like this. But anyway, we don't necessarily want to kill anything that we don't have to, or risk getting even more injured. So there are a few options where we could attack him outright. Let's leave it as a last option. We could offer him a gold nugget, which we have actually. We picked up from the snuff box, if you recall. Or we could try bluffing our way across the stone archway. Let's try that first. We presumably will still be able to offer him a gold nugget. These creatures are not very smart. The hobgoblin is obviously very stupid, as he believes us to be one of the Lizard King's guards. Alright, so he must be truly stupid. He thrusts out his pike and says in a deep voice, What is the password? Well, it's a stupid creature, so I'm going to go with, well, definitely not with Fire Island, so it's either Gonchong or what, but this must be really fun. So he's so stupid that he's probably, what is the password, you know, like that's the only thing he can remember. Let's try that one. Worst case scenario, we just have to slay him. The hobgoblin stares at us dumbly and says, Yes, that's right. What is the password? You may cross. Okay, that was hilarious. He steps to the side and we walk quickly over the archway to the other side of the ravine. Okay, so a first obstacle avoided without any issues. We didn't even have to give up our gold nugget. I'm pretty sure that would have worked as well. Once again, we head off southeast, walking over sand and rock. Riding towards us on a dinosaur-like steed is a heavily armored reptilian. It is a mutant lizard man riding a Styracosaurus. The lizard man urges his mount into a trot to attack us. Alright, this looks similar to a Triceratops. Obviously it only has one horn. And I don't know how we see that it's a mutant lizard man. It looks just like any other lizard man. So, this seems to be a pretty formidable opponent. But it seems we have no other option but to battle him. We cannot even escape from him, by the way. So let's see if we can defeat him. Come here and get wrecked. Oh wow, we need to... what? Well, we need to fight the Styracosaurus, and it has a skill of 11, so it's we are barely stronger than it, so this could be a close one. And of course we win the first round automatically. We wouldn't have, by the way. So we need to hit it 4 times in order to succeed. Okay. 1. This might be tricky. 2. Ouch. Draw. Ouch again. And draw again. And this is all absolutely to be expected. Alright. Finally we defeated. We're pretty badly hurt. The mutant lizard man jumps off the dead Styracosaurus and lumbers over to us with his halberd outstretched. Oh, okay, so we only defeated his mount so far. Wow. We are pretty badly wounded. Let's see if we survive this battle. But fortunately the mutant lizard man is much weaker. It has a skill of 9, so we outskill it by 3 points, and we only need to hit it 3 times because the first one is guaranteed. So this should be a definitely an easier fight. I really hope we don't get hurt, and we don't. Alright, that was pretty bad. We are down to 9 stamina points, and I don't know if we can refill our stamina, but that's where we are. The mutant has a shield. We saw that shield. It was a brown hexagonal something, which we decide to take as it is light yet strong. And we don't have any shields, so it's not like... why don't... yeah. So yeah, so it's a good thing we're taking it. We gain 1 skill point. Alright. Wow, that's great. Okay, so our skill is 13. I'm still not sure it was worth all the stamina loss. We got hit 4 times. Damn it. So anyway, we have 13 skill points, so we are pretty awesome like that. I'm not really afraid of any normal creature, but you know, the Lizard King might prove to be a difficult foe in the end. The prison colony cannot be too far away, and we waste no more time in setting off again. Alright. Our legs brush against the thorny bush, instantly drawing blood. Oh goody, more hostile. Now it's the flora after the fauna that is attacking us. Have we drunk the aniseed tasting liquid from the jug in the hut on the beach? We sure have. If you recall, that was stated to protect us from all poison on this island. Although the bush has poison-tipped thorns, we come to no harm. We walk on, oblivious to the danger which has passed. That's actually a great thing. I didn't need to lose more. We didn't need to lose more stamina points like this. So okay, that's another problem overcome. Alright, let's proceed. Lying dead face down in the scrub is a seaman, perhaps one of the crew of a pirate ship killed by the mutant lizard man. A monkey strains to escape from a chain held by the dead man's hand. Alright, I'd like to actually explain why the monkey is here. Probably the lizard man killed him, but were too afraid to come close to the monkey. Maybe they killed him from afar by projectiles. But this is a really fortunate encounter, because I was wondering how we would get a monkey, right? Because the rusty knives, the fire swords that are disguised as rusty knives, we need to find in the Lizard King's lair. That makes sense, but we haven't seen a monkey so far, and here it is. So it was brought to the island by this pirate, and now we are going to take hold of it. We could ignore it or let it go and carry on walking, but we are going to take the monkey with us. Of course we are. We need it for our final battle, weirdly. The monkey happily sits on our shoulder, and we set off again in the company of our new friend. Okay, so our wonderful appearance has even gained a monkey. So, face paint, that silly helmet, a feather, unless we have removed the feather, we no longer need it probably, and a monkey. Awesome. Over the scrubland and one more hill, we find ourselves overlooking a green valley. A stone fortress lies in the middle of the valley, its striped flag fluttering in the breeze. At last we have found the prison colony. Alright, we are nearing our destination. I'm pretty sure that is going to be the final area of this game, because, you know, that's where we need to have the final standoff against this mad Lizard King. We are about to walk down into the valley when we hear a growl behind us. It is a huge saber-toothed tiger held on a rope by a blonde girl with wild feline eyes. She stares at us inquisitively as the tiger strains on its leash. Okay? It looks like she looks like the relative of the cave woman that we killed. We won't tell her that we killed her. This one is not necessarily using hair dye, but maybe. This doesn't look natural. And this saber-toothed tiger looks vicious. Alright, we don't want to fight her. I'm pretty sure she is not in league with the Lizard King. She might think we are, but we're not. So we could attack the tiger. We are not going to do this. We could run away into the valley, but that might trigger her to think that we are in league with these lizard creatures. So let's try communicating with her. Let's try to show her that we mean no harm. After saying a few words, we realized that the girl cannot understand us. That was not surprising. Perhaps she was left on Fire Island as a child and has become as wild as the animals. Oh, so it's a Tarzanette. She cowers back, uttering a few sounds to the tiger. It is obviously wise to leave her alone, and so we back off slowly, hoping not to scare her. At a safe distance, we turn and walk quickly into the valley to reconnoiter with the freed slaves. Okay, so I don't know if we could have gained anything from this encounter, but at the very least we didn't have to fight either the tiger or the poor girl, and we didn't suffer anything, we didn't lose anything, so I guess that's okay. I'm not sure if this is the best outcome, but this is good enough for us. Once on the valley floor, we make our way over to a copse of trees. As soon as we enter the copse, familiar faces suddenly appear from behind the trees. The dwarves, elves, and humans that we rescued from the mines are waiting here for our arrival. Pleased to see them again, we tell them of what has happened since we last saw them. We tell them that the force should be attacked immediately and that we will deal with the Lizard King. Yes, that's right, we are the hero. You guys are here to fight the other creatures and die if necessary, but we are the ones that will claim victory. Haha! We call them all together and lead them out of the copse into the valley. And it's interesting that we don't tell them how to kill the Lizard King and the Gonchong, just in case we die. You know, it's if we die, you're all dead too. Haha! So that's brilliant. As we run towards the stone fort, we see its wooden gates open. The Lizard King is sending a battalion of guards and mutants out to fight us. Our small army has soon locked swords with the Lizard King's soldiers. That's an interesting decision by this Lizard King, and this fort looks really formidable. I mean, he could have just waited behind the walls, and then what would we have done? Climb the walls with the slaves? And I don't know. But anyway, he feels confident that he can beat us in an open battle, and probably wants the surviving slaves back and wants this to be done. Wants this to be over, so that kind of makes sense. Now we need to roll one die for some reason. Let's see what we roll. Oop. We rolled a 5. Let's see what that means. With our sword raised high, we lunge at our nearest foe. It is a hobgoblin. Okay, so probably the roll decided what kind of enemy we are facing. But we are facing a hobgoblin. Those are not really strong creatures. We managed to pass that arch without having to fight one. Let's see how strong it would have been if we had to fight it. And not very strong. With stamina and skill both at 6, he's doomed to fail. The first round is guaranteed to be ours. And we outskill him by no fewer than 7 points, so the difference is bigger than his skill attribute actually. So this should be a pushover, and it obviously is. We look round to see how the battle is going. Many of our fellow fighters are slain, and the rest are in retreat. Maybe we should have jumped on something more formidable than a lousy hobgoblin. However, we have the Horn of Valhalla, so let's see if we can use it to tide the turn of this lousy little battle. We put our lips to the mouthpiece of the horn and blow as hard as we can. If you recall, we picked up this horn in the depths of the mine, and we paid 5 stamina points for it, so it better work. The tide of the battle suddenly turns as our companions rally to the sound of the horn. A gap appears in the ranks of the Lizard King's troops as they fall back, and we run through. We reach the wooden gates of the fort and run through them into the inner courtyard. Alright, it seems that we have, at least we the hero have managed to enter the final fort, the final part of our adventure. This is the end of the road, and now we get an option of how to proceed within the fort, but we are not going to do any of that, because instead we are just beyond the gates and in the inner courtyard, and we are going to catch our breath here, wipe our sword clean, and get ready for the final encounter or encounters. I'm going to make the cut of the video right here. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time for the final episode. Bye bye.